Alright, welcome to the first of a series of videos we're going to do with me being the builder and Ren Phoenix, say hi,
Hi, everybody.
as the quote-unquote layman observer. So when I'm building stuff, he can ask questions, asking him why I'm doing it a certain way. That should give a different kind of aspect to the videos. So hopefully he's vocal, he's just not sitting there just watching. Don't be a little confused, hopefully. We kind of have the same voice since we're twin brothers. But, you know. Okay, so the project is we're going to be building a 3D model of a canopy or a cockpit. This could be for like an attack helicopter or a spaceship or, I don't know, mech, anything that we want to use it for. I think the first thing we're going to start off with is just the actual canopy, and there's several ways to do this. I'm going to show you the way that I think is going to be the best, and I'll show you the way that I think is not going to be the best first, and then I'll show you why. So you can get a plane here. Just kind of make a plane. Let's make this even numbers. Let's go 115 and then 85. Let's see, do I really need to have... Yeah, I guess. Actually, we'll just go down to... So we've only got one polygon here, and we'll just inset it to make our frame for the top part of this canopy. But I'm not really going to build it this way. I'm just showing you why I don't think this is going to work very well. So we convert this to an editable poly. I can't talk. Select it, and well, first of all, let's go to move. Just center this thing. Alright, we can do something called an inset, and we use the little sliders here to decide exactly how much we want to inset this. So I guess that's pretty good right there. Now we'd have to get these polygons to be like raised. That's like, this is our piece of glass, right? And this would be the actual frame for it. It's way too much. Oops. So there we go. Now we've got this piece of paneling here, but the problem is the glass wouldn't be straight down on the middle part here. We can't really, if we move it, so we'd have to actually detach it and then select it, move it up, and then go back to this one and attach it again. But you see how now there's no bottom face to this. So it's just getting kind of messy, and I don't really like the way this is turning out. And if you cap it, if you try and cap this, it's gonna just fill up the whole bottom again. So just do the way I think it would work better, which is delete this whole thing. And we're actually gonna build the frame, each piece. So get a plane here, and all I want is just a square-like surface. Go to modify. We're gonna go 65 and 65. So that's nice and square. Convert this to a poly. So we've got this thing now, right? Select it, go to border, select this.
You're just gonna fold it up to make a bar.
So this is, we're not making, now we're just making a tube.
Oh, you're making a tube.
A square
Okay,
tube.
I see.
So if this was, actually we need to go this way. Oh, let's take it. Center this. Get rid of these grids. Go back to selecting the border. So the issue with this one is, now that I've got this tube, how do I connect to make more tubes without having some weird geometry? So I think I've got an idea, which is go to rotate, hold down shift, and then rotate this. Oops, Control Z. This, yeah. Take on snaps. Snap the angles so that I'm actually going a full 90 degrees. Right? Right. Or 45 degrees?
It looks like it's only
No, it's 90.
fitting the bottom now.
It's 90. Right. So what I did was when I held down shift, it created another border.
Oh, I see.
Still looking a little weird though. So what we'll do is we'll take these edges along with is it these? It's all those. We're gonna rotate this 45 degrees. Oops. It's a little better, but it's pinching it. So we'll need to deselect all these. Go to move. That one. And there's an easier way to do this. So I got that one, that one, and I want to make them on the same plane. And it looks like I want to be on the same plane, going back and forth on the y-axis. So if I click this, it just levels them up. Do the same thing over here. And then to get these to even out, I click on that one, and I make these level on the up and down plane, which is Z. And then do the same thing for this one.
You basically are doing is squaring this off right now?
Yeah. So now this is nice and square. So we've got basically the top part, or the bottom part. Now we're going to do the top part here, which is going to be the same thing. Which is we just, first of all, left. If you look at it, it's going to have a, we don't really need this. So just deleted it. Gonna grab this border. Do the same thing where I'm rotating it. Oops.
Why don't you just take the whole
And
thing and
close.
copy it to make your square that way?
Oh, that's a good point. Why don't I do that? So we've got this thing selected. Just go to symmetry, and we want it on the Z plane. We'll flip it. There we go. Just crash that down, collapse it. So let's go to move. Let's grab both those borders. Let's go that far out, I guess. We're gonna do the same thing. We just take it and symmetry. This time it's on the Y. Gonna move the mirror. Oops. Oh, unflip it.
Now you got your square.
So, yeah, we've got this now, but how do we make the frame come out this way? Like if this was...
It's gonna be like the very front panel, and then you gotta have like tapering ones that make it like a actual canopy.
Right. So how do we do that? And best way for me to do it would be to... Let's go back to these. Grab those. Unselect, unselect. Actually, we don't need any of this stuff right here. We're just going to be working on one corner. So we've got... We've got to make this come out to the front, right? Let's do the same thing. Go to rotate. First. Dang it. Hold down shift. What's going on? So let's do that. Oh, because I can't make this not a plane anymore. So we gotta figure out some way to do this, and it's gonna be really easy. Just grab those, make a slice plane. Gotta move. Slice. And then go to rotate. Get rid of that. So now we have our actual square, but now if you see, we've got all these extra... I didn't really match it up really well. So what we can do is go here. Put them on the same plane. That way.
Yeah, but now it's pinching in again.
Okay, so we'll just do this over again. Only select that one. Go to slice plane. Hit slice. Get out of slice plane. Select this one. Slice plane. That. Go here. And we should be able to just hit weld. So it says 4. It's got 3 now. So one of these is not quite close enough. It's this one. So we need to go this way. Nope. Back to 2. Don't really need these faces anymore. Delete those. And I don't really need this edge back here anymore. So I'm going to hit Control and Backspace. Okay, now we go to border. Since this is now cut out, we can just do the same thing we did before, which is hold down Shift and just move this out. Oops. Okay, now we've got our actual everything we need to make a cubed frame. So go back out of here. Oops. Symmetry. So that's top to bottom. Let's look at the front. So that's good. Collapse that down. Now we need side to side. And then we need front to back.
Alright, we have succeeded in making a 3D cube with no sides.
So we're going to work on just this frame right now, and then when we're done, we'll actually just be able to make our window panes fit in when we're done. So this doesn't really look like a really good cockpit frame, does it? I mean, it's looking pretty terrible. But most of them are segmented, right? So we can actually take this part, and if we do another symmetry, we can make another one on the other side. So let's take, first of all, if you notice, our pivot points in a really weird spot because I started off with a plane. So let's go here and effect pivot, center to object, and go back. Now our pivot's right in the middle of this cube.
Okay, so are you going to make the entire roll cage and the bottom part where the pilot sits, or just the console and the windows like you're looking out forward?
We're gonna make it so that if you put the camera inside and looked around, it would look like an actual cockpit. So we have to build the whole thing. Let's start off by going back in here. I like working with the actual vertex instead of using it. So we're looking at top. It's not quite this way long enough, so I'm just gonna. So we need to make another section, right? Another whole section for us to start messing around with. So we're going to symmetry. We're going to move this down here. I said we're going to move this down here. First of all, I'll get it back. Is this the right way?
I have no idea.
Front. Nope, this is side to side. So we need to do it. That's up and down. This is front to back. So there we go. Okay, so we've got.
So eventually you're gonna shrink down one of them, so that's gonna have like a more cone shape eventually, right?
It's gonna taper down at the front, and we're just gonna use a modifier called taper to do this work for us, so it's not nice and smooth. So let's do that again, and we're gonna actually use the. Let's do this again one more time. Go to mirror.
I can move back to one cube instead of having two now.
It's always making the center of the mirror go back to the center of the object.
I see. All right.
So now we've got 4 sections. That's pretty good. And we might actually get rid of these sections. Let's get rid of one of these sections. Just like that. 3 is good. So let's collapse. Alright, so let's center the pivot now. And the reason we're doing that is when we do the taper, we want it to be nice and smooth. So let's go back here. And there's a thing called taper. And this is a really good way to do this. So we've got the gizmo. This affects the actual area that it's tapering, and we want to kind of do the front, right? Let's go to the front, which is this section. And see how it's. So we kind of want a little bit like this, right?
Yep, and then a little bit the other direction as well.
So let's make another taper.
Maybe just the front needs to be tapered forward. The front, just the front pane, maybe. I don't know.
And as you can see, it kind of already did.
It did kind of do it. Yeah.
From the left to right. If you take a look here.
Yeah, actually looks.
But I mean, it's kind of a little off. Like the back is more tapered than the front, but that's because I had the gizmo not centered. So if you go back here, we move this around. There we go.
There we go.
But let's also taper it in. So then we go over here, and we're going to do it on a different axis, which is. So the axis going straight toward us is Y. So let's go to Y. Let's change the amount a little bit. What is going on here?
Making it actually look like a Viper now. Viper canopy.
We don't really want curve, so get rid of that. It's not quite the effect I'm looking for, though. What does this do? So it's making it
warped.
So that's not what we want at all. Let's go back here. So that's not what we want either. Is it this one? That's middle. How do we get to just the? Oh well. Well, I have another way to do this. So let's get rid of this one. So this is looking pretty decent as far as tapering up and down, and it's got a nice gradual difference in angles going to the back canopy. So that's actually looking pretty decent, right? So if we take this, collapse this. If we take a symmetry, which right now is basically just copying this over again. Let's take and just slightly.
There you go.
So it kind of works for the side panels, but what it's doing is it's putting this nice weird. If you see that, it's not these lines aren't used straight anymore, but that's kind of fine. I kind of like the way that looks. So let's get that. Collapse that too. So this is actually looking pretty decent here, but we've got too many things.
I need too many things.
I don't like.
We need the bottom bars gone, so you can put the bottom on.
We don't need these anymore. These ones in the middle. So the best way to grab these, go to move, is to grab all these and just deselect those and those, those, and those, and those, and those. So we've got only the ones that we want to get rid of. Hit delete. But now we've got holes in our cage. If you look in here, see that? If you go here, let's just select all these. Select all the borders that we have. Hit cap. It should have fixed it. It did. Okay, so actually let's take a look at how many polygons we have here. 228 polygons for the frames, not bad at all. But we can get even better than that. So we don't need this edge here. So if I hit Control and Delete, or Control and Backspace, it just totally gets rid of it.
What's the black little squares on there right away?
That's just it's shading.
Oh, it's shadows from the other.
Get rid of this. Yeah.
Okay.
Shades from the other one. This is what they call shaded instead of realistic, because realistic will actually put the shades like these things are casting shadows, even though there's no actual we have no lights in the scene, right? So how does it even know which direction to put the lights for the shadows? It just makes it up. So I'm going through here and I'm actually individually getting rid of these, and if you take a look at here, something's off. Notice how these aren't
matching up perfectly because it's supposed to be left.
Right. So let's find out what we've done wrong. Oh, so when we it's not centered against the front pane anymore. So we take the whole thing. See, this is from the top. See, this is why it's. Here we go. Go here. Effect pivot only, centered object. But now this is all weird. What's front showing? So it's not quite. What is this?
It looks like it's the back where it blows out.
That's what it is. Oh, so this is what it is. We've got each segment. See that is further out, so that's fine.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about. Everything looked fine to me. I was like, oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is not quite lined up yet, as far as.
Why do you think that's the center though? That's strange.
Oh, I know why. What we need to do is go in here and hit Reset X Forms, Reset Selected. Go back over here and collapse that to it. Now if you look where the pivot is now. It's actually centered.
I have no idea what you just did though. That's fine.
There's a thing where you're resetting the transformations that we've done, and it counts rotation as being a transformation. So, especially when we did the symmetry, it really messed it up. But now that we've got this thing centered, it's looking pretty good. There's always a way to like really fine tune having this centered, but at this point we don't really need to do that.
So you're gonna go back to finish taking all the little edges out you don't want.
Yeah. So we don't need. Oops.
Seems like something you can. Oh.
We don't need. This one. Or this one. Or that one. Or that one.
Click better.
See, it's not perfectly lined up still, because these should be
Why?
just
One's on the outside edge, one's on the inside edge.
well, if you look at this, there is no. These should be like perfectly like lined up. Anyway, let's go over here. And actually, if you look at this, I kind of like how I did this. It's a nice look. Although what we want to do is we want to actually make this one go out. So we're going to grab these, take away these, and just move this down like this.
How are you gonna put a piece of glass in there that's gonna bend?
Bend where?
Well, if it's bowing out or in, your glass is not gonna be straight from side to side.
Oh, so it's. So let's take this. Now, is that going to be affecting these? It'll affect.
I don't think it's gonna. I think you just need to fix the top so it's not going out in or out either. Then your glass planes will fit in straight. Those two. The top needs to be straightened.
Well, if we're putting a piece of glass in, right? It'll be right here.
Oh, you're right. They can cut it.
Wouldn't
They can
it
just
wouldn't matter.
cut that.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
So let's make these planes.
Well, actually,
Let's
you need to
make our
maybe
window panes.
make it a little thinner because it looks kind of like fat right there. Just if you hold one piece of glass. Well, I don't know. It looks fatter than the other pieces. You know what I mean? Where's our guy gonna sit? He's gonna be up. Gonna for
Let's figure that out now. I was thinking he'd be sitting like. A little more further, because we got to build a seat.
go a little farther
Right.
in because you want him to be able to look behind and up out of the cockpit.
So if that's true, then we need to either move. We need to move this either forward or backward. Right?
What is that? So it's not right on his side view.
Well, I guess it's not really right in his field of view, is it?
Can you zoom into the circle?
See, that's not that bad. Although I do kind of want to. No, that's good enough. It actually looks almost parallel when you're sitting in this perspective. So that's a really good look.
Any way to save that spot?
Well, I can make a camera, but it's not really worth it. So I see what you're saying, though. These look a little, like, thick. But
You're sitting inside, yeah.
It's it's fine.
But how long is this video already?
I don't know. Let's go ahead and just stop this right now, and we'll come back.
Alright, this was Ren Phoenix and the Glaive. Thanks for joining us.